Everyone's buzzing about the Steelers quarterback situation, and it's a total clusterfuck. Big Ben just weighed in on this whole mess and is juicy as hell.
This is about to get real.
The Steelers have a real goddamn problem. They brought in Russell Wilson on a one-year deal, and then there's Justin Fields, who they traded for. Fields has shown some serious potential, but what the hell are they going to do?
It's a tough call. They have two quarterbacks with different strengths and weaknesses. Let's be real. The Steelers have a history of being cheapskates. They let Le'Veon Bell and Mike Wallace walk. Are they really going to pay Wilson what he's worth?
Right. Big Ben thinks the Steelers should offer Wilson a one-year, $30 million deal to keep him around. But even he doesn't think Wilson would take it. Some asshat team will probably offer him a longer deal.
$30 million for 1 year is a lot of cash, but Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's proven himself time and time again. Teams are desperate for that kind of leadership, and they'll pay a premium for it. Look at what happened with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but Wilson is 36 years old. That's not exactly young for a quarterback.
True, but he's still playing at a high level. He led the Steelers to the playoffs last year. You can't just dismiss his experience and track record.
That's fair. But what about Fields? The guy was traded from the Bears and has been balling out in Pittsburgh. He's played a bit conservatively, but he's getting the job done. Plus, he's got that dual threat ability that makes him a real threat on the field.
Fields has definitely shown flashes of brilliance. He's got the arm talent and the mobility to be a star in this league. But remember, he's only started 6 games. We need to see more before we crown him the next big thing.
Remember when everyone thought young quarterbacks were busts if they didn't light it up immediately? It seems like the narrative has shifted a bit.
It definitely has. Guys like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are proving that sometimes all it takes is the right opportunity and a little bit of patience. It takes time to develop in the NFL, especially at the quarterback position.
Fields has only thrown 1 interception in 6 starts. That's pretty damn impressive for a young quarterback. It's a hell of a lot better than some of the veteran quarterbacks out there.
You're telling me. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Fields has shown promise, but he still has a lot to prove.
So are the Steelers going to be cheapskates and let Wilson walk if they don't want to shell out for a longer contract? Or will they stick with the veteran and hope Fields continues to develop?
The Steelers are in a tough spot. They need to weigh the short-term benefits of keeping Wilson with the long-term potential of Fields. It's a gamble either way.
I mean, do the Steelers really need to pay big bucks for a 36-year-old Wilson, especially when they might have a younger, cheaper, and potentially better option in Fields?
It's a classic dilemma. You've got the proven veteran who can win now versus the young gun with upside. There's no easy answer. It all comes down to what the Steelers value more, immediate success or long-term stability.
And how much they're willing to piss off their fan base.
Get wrecked.
This whole situation is fucked up.
It really is. It's a total crapshoot. But let's talk about what this means for the Steelers' future.
What's the best move for them? Do they stick with the old, reliable Wilson or give Fields a shot?
Honestly, I think they need to give Fields a chance. The kid has talent, and he's shown that he can win games. He's got that swagger and confidence you want to see in a young quarterback. But there's also the argument for sticking with Wilson for another year, especially if they can get him on a team-friendly deal.
Wilson's a proven winner. He's got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
He knows how to handle the pressure of a big game.
You're right, but he's not getting any younger. He's 36 years old and coming off a 1-year deal. Father time catches up to everyone, even the greats.
So you're saying the Steelers should let Wilson walk?
If they're smart, they will. They can't afford to pay him big money when they've got a young quarterback who's ready to take over. Plus, think about the message it sends to the locker room. If they prioritize an aging veteran over a young player who's showing promise, it could create some serious tension.
But what if Fields isn't ready? What if he flops?
Then they're screwed. But that's a risk they have to take. You can't keep a young quarterback on the bench forever. He needs game experience to develop. Look at what happened with Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre. That time, learning the system was invaluable.
I guess you're right. But it's still a tough decision. It's not like they're choosing between 2 bad options. Both of these guys have the potential to lead the team.
Exactly. It's a great problem to have, but it's still a problem. And what about Big Ben's idea of offering Wilson a 1-year deal for $30 million?
That's just stupid. Why would they pay him that much money for 1 year?
I don't know. Maybe Ben's still a little pissed off that they didn't pay him what he thought he was worth back in the day.
Maybe. Or maybe he just wants to see the Steelers win and he thinks Wilson gives them the best chance.
It's a possibility, but it's a short-sighted move. They need to think about the future of the franchise, not just the next season. They need to move on from Wilson and give Fields the reins.
All right, I get it. You're all in on Fields.
Damn right I am. The kid's got the potential to be a star. He's got the arm, the mobility, and the leadership qualities you look for in a franchise quarterback.
But what if some other team offers Wilson a long-term deal? What if he goes to a team like the Patriots or the 49ers? They'd be instant contenders.
Then let him go. The Steelers can't get caught up in a bidding war for an aging quarterback. They need to stick to their plan and build around Fields.
So you're saying the Steelers should just let Wilson walk and hope for the best with Fields?
Exactly. Exactly. They need to take a chance on the young guy and see what he can do. It's a risky move, but it could pay off big time.
It's a risky move, but it's also the right move. Holding Field back could stunt his growth.
Absolutely. He needs to be out there making mistakes and learning from them. That's how quarterbacks develop. Sitting on the bench isn't going to do him any good.
All right, I'm convinced. Let's roll the dice on Fields.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. But let's be real for a second. There's a chance this could backfire spectacularly.
Oh, absolutely. What if Fields turns out to be a bust? What if he can't handle the pressure of being the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh?
Then we'll be back here next year talking about the Steelers quarterback situation again.
And probably bitching about how the Steelers are too cheap to sign a decent free agent.
It wouldn't be the first time.
The Steelers are notorious for being cheapskates.
Yeah.
They've let good players walk before just to save a few bucks. Are they really going to risk losing another franchise quarterback over money?
You wouldn't surprise me. They have a history of lowballing their players. It's like they're allergic to spending money. Maybe they think they can just draft their way to a championship.
It's frustrating as hell for the fans. They want to see the team win, and they're willing to shell out big bucks for tickets and merchandise. You'd think the Steelers would want to reward that loyalty by putting a competitive team on the field.
You'd think so, but they've consistently shown that they're more concerned with the bottom line than with winning championships. It's a business, sure, but it's also a sport. And in sports, you need to spend money to make money.
Seriously, do they really think they can win a Super Bowl by being cheap? The days of finding hidden gems in the late rounds of the draft are over. You need to pay top dollar to get top talent.
You're preaching to the choir. Look at the Rams. They went all in, trading away draft picks and signing big-name free agents, and they won a Super Bowl. It's a risky strategy, but it can pay off big time.
The Steelers need to take a page out of the Rams playbook. If they want to compete in today's NFL, they need to open up their wallets and pay Wilson what he's worth, or they need to fully commit to Fields and build a team around him. This half-assing it with one-year deals and hoping for the best, it's bullshit.
I agree. They need to pick a lane and stick with it. This constant uncertainty is not good for the players or the fans.
So what's your prediction? What are the Steelers going to do?
I think they'll end up franchising Wilson. It's the only way to keep him without breaking the bank. It'll piss him off that the Steelers don't seem to care about pissing off their players.
Franchising him. That's a bold move. It's basically a one-year prove-it deal. And if he balls out, they'll have to pay him even more next year.
Exactly. It's a risky move, but it's the most Steelers move imaginable. It's their way of doing business. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But one thing's for sure, the Steelers quarterback situation is a total clusterfuck, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. The Steelers are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do they go with the proven veteran or the young gun? It's a decision that could make or break their future.
It's a tough call, and there's no easy answer. But one thing's for certain, it's going to be a hell of a ride.